Parsha 101, Haftarah 101. This is for the Parshas of Acharei-Kedoshim, which is a double portion, and because it's a shorter year or a year that's not a leap year, the two Parshas are combined, and when they are combined, the Haftarah for Acharei is read, not for Kedoshim. But they do have a similar theme. The Parshas themselves are connected, and the Haftarahs are also kind of parallel in their themes. So the first Haftarah for Acharei comes from the book of Amos, and it's during the time when the kingdom is still split. So you have the northern kingdom, the kingdom of Israel, and the southern kingdom, the kingdom of Judah. Amos was a prophet of the kingdom of Israel, and he's one of actually the Treasar. So there's one book of the prophets that's got 12 prophets within it, or prophecies from 12 prophets in it. And they're much shorter, so if it would be its own book, they would kind of be novella size. So instead they put all 12 together, so this way it would be a solid book that would be better preserved. So this is a time, the second Yerevam is king now, and it was a time of great prosperity for the Jewish people living in the northern kingdom. However, with the material wealth, there was not equal spiritual wealth. And the general idea is that Amos is coming to tell them off for why are you rejecting God and turning away from him, etc. Did I not bring you out of Egypt? Did I not raise you up? Do you think I'm not still around, kind of idea. And then it speaks kind of harshly about those who didn't do what they were supposed to do. There's going to be consequences for these things, but God does promise that though, this kingdom is going to be destroyed, but I'll not fully destroy the house of Jacob. Meaning the northern kingdom was going to be totally destroyed, and it compares it to grain in a sieve, that it gets bounced around. So the Jewish people are going to be spread out, they're going to get bounced around, but they will come back. There'll be a time when they will come back. Of course, permanently, the Messianic redemption, they will come back, and the bounty and the blessings will be so much. It describes it that the person who's plowing the field is going to meet the reaper, because that's how much it's going to be. Like, even as he's plowing, there's already going to be so much growing, they're going to be reaping. And the person who's already, turning the grapes into wine and stuff, it's going to be met by the person who's already planting the next thing. They're going to come back, they're going to rebuild the ruined cities, they're going to plant vineyards, and they're going to enjoy all this stuff. So says God. That's the general thing for the Haftarah of Acharei, or Acharei-Mos. The Haftarah for Kedoshim is from the book of Ezekiel, and the way it kind of parallels is because it's occurring during the time of the exile / conquering destruction of the kingdom of Judah, the southern kingdom. So this is taking place decades later, a while later, but it's still the same sort of idea of why have you turned away from God and come back. And Ezekiel, so Yechezkel is talking about how, what these people that I raised them out of Egypt, and I gave them my laws and my ordinances. I shared Shabbos with them. I gave them my day of rest, and they've spurned all of it, and they've turned from all of it. And even in the desert, don't be, the ancestors in the desert, they rejected it, etc. Just they still yearn for idolatry. So we gotta get rid of all the idolatry and don't turn after all these things, and keep my Shabbos, keep my ordinances, and through this I am your God. That's a general thing for Kedoshim, for the Haftarah for Kedoshim. So the two Parshas, the Parsha of Acharei-Mos and Kedoshim, there's a lot of laws in them, and Acharei, it actually describes the service of Yom Kippur in it, but it also goes into different laws of forbidden relationships, things like that. Kedoshim, that Parsha, Kedoshim is kadosh, holy, that God says, be a holy people unto me. So it also goes through the laws, also forbidden relationships, and it goes through being honest in business dealings. Don't turn after idols, and like the nations who I've destroyed because they turned after these idols and that they were sacrificing their kids to, and all this kind of stuff. And a lot of different laws about just being honest and decent and good in this kind of regard. And the idea of this is that someone could say, a Yom Kippur service, this is for a Kohen Gadol, this is for a high priest, this is the holiest day of the year, this is for holy people. What does that have to do with me? So we look at the second Parsha of Kedoshim, it's kind of mundane things that we're speaking about. Be honest in your business dealings, be decent in relationships, etc., etc. So someone might not think, I'm not on the level of a Kohen Gadol or high priest, and it's not a Yom Kippur, I'm not a person who every day is a Yom Kippur, that it's such a holy day for me. But when we are holy and when we are good, as in godly kind of good, in our regular day-to-day business dealings, this elevates us, this sanctifies us, so we do get raised up to a level of experiencing holiness like Yom Kippur. and being like a high priest, because it's through the mundane things and through the day-to-day living where we bring God into those things, and we turn these actions, even a business dealing, even things like this, we turn into godly action. Shabbos, we have a whole week to work, and Shabbos we say, no, this is the day of sanctity. Through that, we bring sanctity into our lives, and we elevate ourselves as that, to the point of the whole world being elevated and bring about the ultimate redemption with the coming of Mashiach now. Amen.